I get a lot of the yerba I've done reviews on from Pampa Direct, and I'm sharing some exciting news about Pampa Direct's online store. They're giving away $1,000 in prizes. With purchases of $50 or more, you can enter to win one of 10 $100 gift cards by using the code BIGWIN at checkout. Make sure to check the terms and conditions on their website. All purchases throughout the month of March that use the coupon automatically enter the giveaway. More purchases, the more chances to win. U.S. customers also get free shipping with purchases of $50 or more. You'll be able to find brands that you won't find anywhere else. Plus, you get to try some Argentine delicacies that you can't get around here, like dulce de leche, alfajores, chocolinas. I love the selection that they have. They always include something a little extra, like some extra little candies or something with the purchases. It comes really fast through FedEx, arrives right at your door in a matter of days. You really can't beat it as far as international shipping. I've seen it all over the world. Literally, people posting about their packages arriving in New Zealand, South Africa, all over Europe. So if you want to enter for a chance to win some money and get some good yerba, go to pampadirect.com. I'll put the link in the show notes. Thanks.
Welcome to the Yerba Power Podcast, where we share the power of yerba mate with the world. Introducing your host, Devin.
Thank you for joining me for another episode of the Yerba Power Podcast. I will be doing another yerba review just for you for Flavor Friday, which is a time where I sit down and review different yerbas that I've tried that people have either asked me to try or I've come across somewhere or seemed interesting to me. And today's yerba is Mate Rojo Especial. I've tried a different version of Mate Rojo that is a collaboration with Mate Pampa. From what I gather, Mate Pampa just sells products as far as the mates and thermoses, not necessarily the yerba, but they did a collaboration with Mate Rojo. They called it, La 10 with the number 10 from Messi. And they had two different packaging bags, and I tried them both. One that had the Argentine selection, so the soccer team's jersey colors, so like the blue celeste stripe, blue and white, and the other one, which the bag was in the Miami pink or the Inter Miami pink color, the same with the number 10 on it for Messi. And from what I gathered, or from what I tried, that one, both of those bags taste the same, just different packaging, I guess you could say. And why I say that is because the packaging on this is significantly different, but it has a similar taste from what I remember. I don't think I have any notes about it when I tried that yerba as far as to compare and tell you guys for a fact. Is the same company. However, this one is Especial. And why is it Especial, or why is it special? And the short answer is that it's aged for 24 months, so 2 years. This is a natural aging process. At least that's the sticker on the bag. And the outside of the bag itself is red, blue, and white. Red, white, and blue for us Americans listening. And the interesting fact to point out about this bag is that it is a 2-kilogram bag that I got off of Pampa Direct, and I was pretty stoked to get a huge bag in the mail, and just the sheer massive, size of it and holding it in my hands. It's pretty cool. I've seen pictures on the internet of people in the stores, with like these big 5-kilogram bags, in Uruguay and stuff. And so I have, this is the biggest bag. I don't remember seeing a 2-kilogram or bigger bag in Argentina, but then again, I probably wasn't paying attention. So to me, this is just cool to have such a big bag. I've definitely not seen this big in the U.S. As far as the smell, it's definitely a fresh herba smell is just that smell that I can not seem to get a good handle on, even though I did an episode about that. But it's a good, strong, instant, like, nostalgia smell. Very grassy, herby smell, woodsy, I would say. So makes you think of like a dense forest. All right, going back to the bag. So the front and the back are the same. It's just got the Mate Rojo Especial with the little sticker that shows 24 months aged, from Misiones, Argentina. Selección Especial, so special selection. Yerba Mate with a little mate on the front of it in the back. So it's a duplicate front and back. It has some silver trim Yerba Mate leaves in the white background. And then on the sides, one side just has the kind of contact details, as well as the Molinos La Misión, which is the operation of Mate Rojo in Obera, Misiones. This is Mate Rojo is a symbol of sharing, the union, and like the fraternal togetherness that brings a good mate. It's hard to translate the flowery literature language here. Produced in our rich and noble soil, our red soil, in which I guess that's where the Mate Rojo comes from, because it says our red soil, and Mate Rojo is Misiones. So saying that it's the area of Misiones, which is the province in Argentina where a lot of good yerba comes from. Ruta de la Yerba Mate. So that is something I need to investigate more in, but I've seen this before, and it seems to be a certain brands that are aligned with this Ruta de la Yerba Mate. And then on the other side, is more about what does it mean for natural aging process. And so saying that it's a process of drying the leaves that allows them to mature in a natural form. And the yerba mate are special deposits, selections, achieving this color, aroma, and ideal smoothness. And for more information, you can go to materojo.com.ar, Argentina. So hopefully that answers your and my question of what is a natural aging process. And basically, according to their little blurb here, is that allowing it to dry and age naturally in their special, like, deposits. So I guess like storage locations. All right. So also has some of the dietary facts and things on here, all in Spanish. But the basic things that are, I guess, required. Nothing in particular as far as the caffeine content, because I know that sometimes a lot of people ask and see how that varies. But it does say about 50 grams of yerba with 200 millimeters of water at 70 degrees Celsius with a mate and bombilla contains this many different grams of carbohydrates, sugars, and all those kind of things. The interesting thing, which I'll get into later, is that at the bottom on that side of the packaging, it says Dios te ama, which means God loves you. And then it's written in what I assume is Cyrillic or Russian script, because it looks like that. I can't verify because I don't read Russian. Maybe I could pass this to one of my Mate Russian friends, because there's actually a guy, Mate in Russia, that posts a lot about your mate that I'm hoping to get on the podcast. Hopefully he's listening to this. I would love to hear more about his story. Been following him actually for years and just didn't know he actually spoke English or Spanish, and found that out through some messages. But yeah, so we've talked about the packaging. We've talked about kind of what the natural aging process is, according to them, that it's 24 months. So what distinguishes it to make it special Now, about my opinion about it. So, what I thought when drinking this yerba, I wrote some of my notes in my journal. I have this yerba mate journal that I do kind of my reviews, write them down as I'm drinking it, so that way when I go back and look at it, I can filter that kind of through and give you guys a hopefully more accurate review. According to my notes, which if you want to get a yerba mate journal, shout out to Yerba Travels. Hit Jeff up. He's got plenty of them. So this is 24 months aged. It's a nice, strong, full-bodied yerba. So what I mean by full body, meaning that it has like a thickness, deepness to it. It's not something I would recommend for beginners. What I mean there is that it's a little much on the flavor for someone that's very new. It's not complex in the sense of a ton of flavors, but it is a like a deep, thick, heavy, I would say, dense flavor. And it's just straight yerba, more of a wood taste than anything. I appreciate the 24 months of giving the yerba time to mature, as I've talked to other yerba companies about how you let it sit, let it age. And that's something I would say more typical to the Argentine yerba of being 18 to 24 months. It's what I've seen is kind of more of a standard in that, and something I'd get again, but not something I'd necessarily go out of my way for to buy. And what I mean by is that I find it's a good yerba, and it has a good texture to it, but just overall, 4 out of strength. I mean, it's heavy, 3 out of bitterness, so but not that bitter, not that shocking, I guess you could say, but a 3.63 overall, meaning it's a good, strong, middle of the road yerba, but not something that I would necessarily go crazy about. So with just all due respect, just good, solid yerba that I would happily drink again. Does that make sense? But what I find most interesting is that they display their Christian faith on the branding and packaging, where I've not seen any other company do that. And I find this most interesting is faith is a core of who I am and what I do and why I do what I do. Yet there's this concept of separation of church and state, at least here in the US, and where marketing and commerce are these like schemes. And I say that in quotation marks. What I mean is it's just this way to kind of convince people to buy things and feels removed from being authentic. And I admit I've fallen into this trap many times by presenting myself or yerba mate power in some kind of conforming way to what others are doing in the way that they're putting their reels or their pictures or Instagram or just even, I don't know, maybe putting on some airs as some kind of yerba mate expert. And that's just me being authentic and sharing kind of my feelings and what I think. Maybe some of that is imposter syndrome coming out. However, I do admit that I have tried to maybe be someone that I'm not and trying to, in a way, imitate what I've seen other companies or people or marketers or influencers be successful instead of just being myself and what I'm gifted and talented at. In other words, it's when you're focusing on someone else and comparing yourself instead of like just you versus you. So it's okay to compare yourself in a healthy way to achieve better. And the same can go for up or down. In other words, you can look down on someone by comparing yourself in a way that, oh, I'm so much better than them. However, the strategies that have worked for other people that I've seen people do and that I've implemented are not to be discarded. So in other words, it's good to learn from these other people and do what's working, meaning presenting the material in a clear and attractive way. And through that, working on myself as far as telling better stories, a clear communication, not rambling or distracting for the listener. And that's something I am working on. may may sound like a rant as I'm giving you this. And all that I wanted to make a point here is that I find it very interesting that on the packaging and branding of this company, that they put something that other people might find controversial in the sense of someone expressing their faith, whereas I see it as interesting in the fact of more of beyond a company of a conglomerate or a corporation or some kind of image to keep. So that's what my takeaway from this yerba is. But they've set themselves apart of just being a solid yerba and a good company, and then choosing that space on their packaging to express something that I find very interesting. I don't know what your thoughts or comments about this, and whether you have any spiritual beliefs or not. I think it's just the fact of being able to share who you are to a certain extent, and me being able to be comfortable, and I'm saying this through their lens, being able to share who I am about where I've come in my journey of presenting yerba mate, even about my faith, is that plays a big part in who I am. Being able to share that because I can respect other people from where they're coming from. I've said this before, and hopefully it's sinking in now, that yerba mate is a tool that allows for conversations, for shared moments, for shared memories, and allows this sort of round table of bringing people together from all different walks of life to join together over something so, dare I say, primitive as drinking from a piece of wood with a straw, filtering some leaves. And so it is this beyond the infusion in the tea and the yerba and benefits and health benefits that I'm wanting to bring to light here of this tool that allows us to connect and share these moments, these thoughts, and allows me this platform to share even what I'm talking about right now. So again, thank you for being part of this community and this circle of yerba mate and where you're interested in yerba mate and learning more. And I'm just honored to be able to be part of that conversation with you. I've been in contact with some of the marketing team from Mate Rojo, exchanging some WhatsApp messages with them and telling them about what trying their yerba. I'm gonna put it on the podcast and everything, see if they would be interested in coming on or having a representative because I found it very interesting this part of their marketing and seeing if they be interested to talk more about that, to dig more into this part about sharing their Christian faith in their marketing, kind of what that means to them. And I would love to hear more about it. If you guys would be interested in hearing that or anything related to this or going off the topic of yerba, I would hope that my fan base would be open-minded and willing to do so. And, if not, that's okay too. You don't have to. Either way, I hope to bring you good quality content about yerba mate, and hopefully this review about this company, Mate Rojo, and this Yerba Mate Rojo Especial, provides value for you. And if not, there'll still be plenty of more yerba reviews that you can check out in the next one. In fact, I'm going to do a yerba blending part 3 that my wife and I kind of recorded on the fly a while back, and I'm going to add a little bit more to it because I want to do a part 4, part 5 with some other companies I've found that have done some really good things and cool things with yerba blending, meaning mixing the different herbs and a different mixture of recipes, let's say. And also I have a couple other reviews from some different companies coming up too. Several different brands that I have tried and still not got the time to record a podcast episode on it. So stay tuned. There'll be plenty more coming in the next couple weeks. And that yerba blending episode I'm going to do. And I've got a couple other things I want to talk about, some other companies here in the US that are doing yerba mate for good, as well as I want to do a little bit of investigation into some other topics that I still haven't really found enough information on. And I want to dig into that a little bit and present to you guys some more of kind of like a journalistic approach because I've listened to some other podcasts and really tapping into how they do storytelling. And that's something I want to work on for you guys. So I hope you enjoyed this yerba review. Stay tuned for more. Subscribe. Don't miss out on the next one.